And that's important. So let's get into actually sex trafficking and actually that whole ring.
Don't let me speed you up.
You're fine.
On your...
So 1991 to 2005, I call this the Epstein heyday. So this is, I've gained control of the Wexner empire. I've transferred these assets and these properties into my name. Ghislaine is here. And now it's on. So if you look from that, the Ghislaine Maxwell trial describes many of these Ohio properties being used specifically for sex trafficking purposes, right? So these are just in late 1994, late 1995. Basically, we move from that point forward. The Palm Beach, Virgin Islands, connection begins to materialize. We have the house in Palm Beach. We have the compound in the U.S. Virgin Islands. The Lolita
Epstein's
Express.
Island,
that's
right?
the Epstein Island.
Yeah.
We have the Virgin Island that's acquired under the Epstein basically estate. Then we have the Lolita Express that's purchased, the private jet. So all of the pieces that are now famous, these all come into play between 91 and 2005. This was the heyday of the Epstein empire.
And is this where you see the images of him and Trump hanging out?
Exactly. 2002, that's when we have the first image. Although, I have it in my notes for the Trump-Epstein relationship. Let me go ahead and find that.
Don't let me speed you up.
No, it's fine.
You stay on this.
So 2002, Trump says, I've known Jeff for 15 years. So basically putting the relationship back to the 1980s. Terrific guy. He's a lot of fun to be with. It's even said he likes beautiful women as much as I do. Many of them are on the younger side, no doubt about it. Jeffrey enjoys his social life. So that's Donald Trump in 2002. Just again, to show everybody here what we're dealing with for the open secret. All right. So he likes him on the younger side. He said it. And if you want, there's video if you want to go ahead and play it. I have the YouTube link from NBC News of them hanging out. Let me find footage from 1992 actually. Can you go ahead and click that one? It's a YouTube link. It's from a NBC News package in 2002. It's some B-roll that actually shows them hanging out. So here we go. This is the famous. They're all hanging out together. And by the way, I haven't showed this yet, but there are photos of Trump and Robert Maxwell hanging out together as well in the past. So he certainly knew a lot of these individuals. We can see him dancing. They're at a party. Apparently in the mid-2000s, there was a party that was thrown involving Victoria's Secret models that was put on by Epstein and another associate of Donald Trump, where they all hung out. So just putting that out there.
That other guy
I actually don't know. I love his tie. It's very 1990s. So anyway, look, the footage, it all exists. And I'm sparing nobody here. I want to be very open.
To your earlier point, the super rich, the super elite is kind of a small circle.
It's incredibly
small circle.
They all know each other.
So if in 15 years,
hanging out,
you're going to hear some whispers about one of your friends.
It's not even a whisper. He said it out loud on the record.
Trump
said it. He just said it.
All right, guys, we got to take a break real quick because America is under attack. Our freedom is under attack. Epstein's list is being suppressed. And there's only one company that could stop that from happening. There's only one company that cares about freedom. There's only one company that cares about America, and it's a caffeine company, obviously. Black Rifle Coffee. They make this energy drink right here. I drink it every single episode. You guys see it right there. You see me sipping out of it. This is the reason that I'm not getting sent out of the country. Because Trump's team sees this and they're like, oh, he's one of the good ones.
Yeah, patriot.
Otherwise, it might not matter that I'm a citizen. Black Rifle Coffee keeps me in America. If I had to go back to India, I'd be in jail. But I'm here because of this.
Yes.
I do think it's a little bit offensive that Jamil handed me this specific flavor, Project Mango. Yeah. I felt that is a bit of a slur from Jamil to toss this can at my head. But that's what it is. Project Mango. I am Project Mango. Black Rifle Coffee. The 200 milligrams of pure American caffeine. You drink this, you won't be on Epstein's list. Because you won't even be interested in children, because this coffee is from good Americans, good veteran Americans who help keep us safe. So guys, head to blackriflecoffee.com/flagrant and use the code flagrant, and you get 30% off your purchase and your first order. They didn't need to do that. Honestly, it might get to the point where if you don't buy Black Rifle, you get sent out of America, and that's just what it is. But they're going to give you 30% off regardless, even though this is the only coffee and energy drink that you should consume in this entire country. Again, go to blackriflecoffee.com/flagrant. Use the code flagrant. And if you don't want to do it online, if you like to do things in real life, you can also find Black Rifle Coffee and energy drinks in grocery stores and convenience stores near you. Convenience stores, ending with that, also felt a little pointed. But let's get back to it. Listen up, noodle dicks. You know what time it is? It's Blue Chew time. Listen, not all of us have a 12-inch dick like Alex Media, okay?
Yes.
Not all of us look at Conor McGregor's dick and say, oh my God, that thing is puny. Oh my God, his dick can only bench press 25 pounds. What a weak dick he must have. Yeah. And if you're one of those people, which I am,
same,
Who doesn't look at Conor McGregor's dick and say, oh my God, that's a micro penis, unlike Alex Media? Then you need to probably introduce Blue Chew into your sexual regimen. Listen, ladies, if you're with a guy and he's fucking awesome and perfect and thoughtful and considerate and he has a small dick, you might be dating me. And if that's the case, I would compensate by just taking some Blue Chew. It's got all the same active ingredients as those other dick medications, but this is the one we trust because it's the Chew. They've been rocking with us since day one. And as always, they got a special deal for Flagrant listeners. You get your first month for free if you go to BlueChew.com and use a promo code Flagrant at checkout. All you got to do is pay $5 for shipping. That's it. Again, head to BlueChew.com, look at the safety information, look at the details, make sure everything is okay. Again, that is BlueChew.com. Use the promo code Flagrant. You get your first month free. Just pay $5 for shipping. Now let's get back to the show.
2002.
Yes.
Very important year in the Epstein story.
Yeah.
2002 is when journalist Vicky Ward, she works here in New York City, Vanity Fair magazine.
This is the Vanity
And
Fair
Vanity
article.
Fair. This
Yes.
is the very first premier magazine to say, who is this guy?
Yes.
Graydon Carter, the legendary Condé Nast editor, king of New York society. It basically works with Vicky and says, hey, let's go write about this Epstein figure. Vicky eventually uncovers evidence of the young women trafficking, of the intelligence community ties, and all of this in 2002.
How does she uncover this?
Because she does a great job. She goes and interviews these people. That guy, Stephen Hoffenberg, who's in prison, she interviewed him in prison, and she didn't print his quotes until 20 years later because it was shut down by Graydon Carter. Now, Joey, can you please put up the story
Can
from
you
New
quickly
York
tell
Magazine?
us why Graydon Carter would be able to? I understand the name Condé Nast, but maybe explain.
Yeah. What I'm having here in front of me is a very crazy story. Is that according to Carter, somebody put a bullet outside of his I think it was either outside of his house or wherever he was, and a dead cat to intimidate him while he is investigating the Epstein story. So it eventually comes out.
What is Condé Nast? Just
Condé
explain
Nast,
to
I mean,
people.
they own Vogue. They employ, if anyone's ever seen The Devil Wears Prada, like that's based on Vogue magazine, and Anna Wintour, that's part of the Condé Nast empire.
The Condé Nast empire. Imagine with Rupert Murdoch, with news stations.
Exactly.
This is with
and
magazines.
Actually, dude, it's so hard because the audience here is going to be young, so they don't even remember the Vanity Fair heyday. Like, this was a big fucking deal.
Before blogs, before like your favorite Instagram page, there were magazines.
This was the beating heart of American culture. Vanity Fair magazine, The New Yorker, Vogue magazine.
Newspapers were information,
Absolutely.
and magazines were more like op-ed, right?
Yeah, magazines were not just op-ed. They were actually the places where this type of journalism, I mean, there's stories at Condé Nast about guys were getting paid $500,000 a year. They would write 3 stories a year. But they would spend 6 months like Vicky Ward.
Because it was real investigative journalism.
It would change the face of the country.
Some of my favorite journalists, there's a guy named Dexter Filkins at the New York. He spent like 6 months. One of my favorite war reporters. They'll go out and report for 6-7 months.
There's conspiracy theories about
like
it
a
now,
10,000 word article.
Theoretically, Watergate, whatever the conspiracy, conspiracy theories aside, that's journalists breaking a story that caused a president to resign, changed the trajectory of the entire world.
And now when it happens and you see like a 20-page article in the New Yorker or something like that, you're like, who the fuck reads this? And nobody really reads it. But at the time...
Oh, it was everything.
And that's why like our parents, and I think that we're probably a little bit even too young, us. Maybe you, just because you're involved in journalism so much.
I have read about it, so I can contextualize it, but I never experienced it.
But this was the heyday of like information, and it created habitual reading, right? Just my parents had a subscription to New York Magazine and New Yorker, and like every single, when does it come out? It's weekly? Yeah.
It used to be. I don't know anymore.
But it's like, so they're reading it every single, and the pieces that are in there, the assumption was that these were like real investigative journalism pieces, and they're uncovering truths that take months and months to put together. So they really gained like the support and trust, at least of maybe like, I don't want to say like more like coastal elites.
It's what you just described, the global elite. The global elite is very small. It's like maybe 10,000 people who run the entire world. And actually that might even be a little bit generous. And they're all subscribing to Vogue. I mean, look, Anna Wintour is still an icon amongst the super rich. So like, obviously it really matters. So Epstein basically uses the threat of legal action to shut down any mention of his intelligence ties, which he's confronted with directly, any mention of the sex trafficking and the of pedophilia accusations, and all of it is dropped from the Vanity Fair article that culminates in the 2002 story, Who is Jeffrey Epstein, the Mysterious Man of New York? But it insinuates things about being with women, and he knows everybody. He's friends with Harvey Weinstein. He's friends with all of, New York society. Everybody seems to know him. You have the quotes by Donald Trump and others. And so what we see there is '02 is a very important year because it shows his power to shut down Graydon fucking Carter, his power to bring the Condé Nast empire to bear and say, no, you're not reporting any of this. The power of using Harvey Weinstein and others to basically call all the journalists and other people around him and say, I'm going to sue the shit out of you if you report even one word of this.
Now, it's important to note that like shutting down stories is quite common. If you have a PR agency or something like that.
Well, especially at that time.
At this time.
When access really mattered.
I would even say now, like you have a PR agency or something's about to release on TMZ and you know somebody over there at TMZ, you're like, yo, can you just not put out this
if you
story?
hold this, I'll give you an exclusive on this in the future.
But there's a quid pro quo, which is like, if you don't release this, I'll give you the first dibs on this story coming out with this album release. So it is quite common practice, but to shut down a story that's making an allegation or multiple allegations this big, you need to have some serious weight and some serious quid pro quo.
Yes.
I think it's got to be more than just lawsuit because these people, I mean, they're lawyered up to the gills. Like if you run Condé Nast.
That's what I was trying to say. To understand how extraordinary this is Condé fucking Nast.
This is a massive. I mean,
dude, even me and you and others, when people are like, I'm going to sue you, I'm like, yeah, good fucking luck. I'm like, all right, I've got insurance. I'm like, and I know how the First Amendment works and New York Times versus Sullivan. I'll be like, I'm going to eat your fucking legal fees for lunch and I'll see you in court. All right. Because of the legal standard, if you are a public figure, like Epstein was basically at that time, the bar for defamation and libel is so incredibly high. I actually really support that. I mean, it's one of my key differences with Trump is I think it's a good thing because it allows for
investigative journalism.
Well, not just that. We can fucking go for it. We can go for it without fear.
So let's not.
Yeah. He's like, let's not get carried away here.
We'll get into that in another time.
And then why does he agree to this article? Is it just hubris?
Epstein?
No,
he didn't agree to it.
Vicky
Ward was assigned. Epstein did not want this to happen.
Oh, really?
He never wanted any of this to come out.
They changed the article to make it less accusatory
less
and
salacious.
salacious.
You can actually go and read it
I
today.
don't think we're understanding how crazy this is. He intimidated Graydon Carter basically to take out a lot of the salacious
to take
things
out the intelligence
with a fucking bullet and a dead cat.
Yes.
We've seen The Godfather.
It's
the same thing.
It's literally mob
Instead of a horse's head, it's a dead cat.
It's crazy.
And there's no way to prove that he was the one that did it, but having those...
He's not... Listen, Graydon certainly believed it, and Graydon works and has dinner with the most powerful people in all of New York.
Has he spoken about this
He is certainly not. He has not actually answered a whole lot of questions about this. So that's an important thing.
But does he give comment to Vicky Ward here?
Huh? Epstein goes on the record in some places, but we don't learn the full extent of all of their exchange until 2021, after he's dead, when she begins to reveal a lot of the stuff that she was actually had on the record in this story. So this is the very first known time of a major expose which would have really hurt Jeffrey Epstein if it had come out, that he's able to shut down. Eventually in the future, we see the same tactics with Good Morning America and with the Prince Andrew story, if you'll recall, of that famous video, the leaked video from CBS or ABC News, where she's like, I had this story, I had everything, and the palace shut it down. And Epstein and all of them basically came together, and we didn't want to lose our coverage of the royal wedding, and so we didn't publish any of this. And she's like, I had the story from day one.
We didn't want to lose our coverage of the royal wedding.
Exactly.
So we shut this down.
The Prince Andrew story.
We would have access to the royal wedding.
Yes.
So again, that's the quid pro quo. It's like, if you want to work with us, if you want access to this story that you know is going to probably sell way more ads than your Prince Andrew
the royal
story.
wedding was fucking huge. You remember that? Women in America got up at like 5 a.m. to watch it. Or whatever.
Yeah, which is so
which is wild.
embarrassing.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
But Alex, go. It's good to ask questions about this.
Yeah.
I think we feel guilty asking because it looks like we're trying to create an out. I'm not trying to create an out.
I'm trying
to understand the totality of this and like where they would be coming from if they were going to defend it. So ask your question.
You said that's 2002 when she's working on the story.
Came out in 2002.
But then
it was published in March 2003, but it was reported throughout 2000.
But then she doesn't release the other part of the story until
after
20
he's dead.
years later.
Yeah, basically
like,
after he's dead.
that means you knew he was fucking kids. And you sat on it.
Well, she didn't have evidence, man. We're journalists. We can't say these things. No. See, this is very important.
This is
I can't
why
just come
podcasts are
out.
important.
Yeah, I can't just come
we'll
out
just
and
say
say
anybody's
these
fucking
things
anybody.
without
Allegedly.
evidence. You need to. And look, that I talked
We've
about
done it to Mark many times.
But I talked about the barrier, the defamation stuff. Like you need to have some stuff on the record, and she did not have enough that they felt comfortable going forward with something like that.
I thought they felt comfortable. I thought they just took it out because of the
They're
intimidation.
claiming that it didn't meet the evidentiary standard. Vicky Ward says otherwise. Like, look, I could see the case either way, but the point is that what's come out afterwards is that Graydon Carter was terrified, and so it's not really about the story. It's that he was afraid to be able to publish it.